very warm welcome to the last of our Sunday videos, and we're hugely looking forward to welcoming some of you on Sunday, and we hope those of you who aren't travelling yet that we'll see you before too long too, whenever the time is right for you. We've missed half of Lent, all of Holy Week, all of Eastertide. We've missed Pentecost and Trinity Sunday and Corpus Christi and St Albans Day, but never a day has gone by when we have not been praying for you, when we have not said Mass, and we have brought you before the Lord at the altar every single day. So just to reflect on what we've been reading through in the Office of Readings at morning prayer in the last couple of weeks, I thought I'd talk a little bit about King David. King David, the shepherd king, and later Jewish kings were often referred to as shepherds, and all of them always measured against King David. And we read through Christian eyes that the prophets longed for the time when the Lord would raise up a worthy successor for David, who would be virtuous and who would practice honesty and integrity. In the Old Testament, even kings were expected to have something of the real world, down-to-earth qualities of the shepherd. And that paradox, the king who is also a shepherd, is rarely far from the surface in the New Testament. Christianity breaks upon the world with an impact that is simultaneously otherworldly and down to earth. Jesus described himself as a good shepherd. He described himself as the good shepherd who lays down his life for his sheep. We might say that on the one hand, Jesus often uses analogies of ordinary things, ordinary people, to teach us what God is like and what his kingdom is like. Shepherd, sower, fisherman, vineyard labourer, soldier under authority. But on the other hand, he often tells us to be indifferent to, or even renounce altogether, the things of this world. Store up treasure in heaven. Forsake the security of your family. Those who have little or nothing in this world are the ones who are truly blessed. Many have had their reward, but the reward for the faithful is the reward given to the day-long toilers and the 11th hour entrants alike. Admission to the presence of Jesus, admission to the vision of God himself. And of course, we see this theological thread spun again and again in the letters of the New Testament. St. Paul says, our citizenship is in heaven. In Hebrews we read, here we have no abiding city. In Ephesians, you are no longer strangers and pilgrims, but you are fellow citizens with the saints and members of the household of God. Our very closeness to God takes us to a greater or lesser extent out of this world and into a relationship that draws us away from the finite and towards the infinite. And yet here in the midst of the world and its processes is the presence of God too. And here we must still seek and find him. So how are we going to live that out in our Christian lives? How can we be in the world but not of the world? Especially when the truth is that we're quite attached to this world. But I suspect we will all have been changed in ways that we can't yet know by these past 15 or so weeks. It is a huge relief that we can be at Mass together from Sunday. If you can't come, you mustn't worry, the time will come. But we are really looking forward to seeing some of you. While you've been away, we have, as I said Mass daily, said our prayers daily, said midday prayer daily, remembering Bishop Jonathan and our clergy and naming each of you before God.
We've made 44 videos that have been put on YouTube, including videos for the children too. And thank you so much to Mary Fawn for her contribution to the children's work, including the wonderful Zoom Sunday schools that she's done with lots of quizzes for the children. And I'm proud to say I did take part one week, but I think I came near the bottom with my score. We've had almost 5,000 views on our videos.
Whatever that means. Oh, And where are we? I've been Zoom meetings, all those wretched Zoom meetings, more than I care to remember. My eyesight has got worse, I'm sure, all that staring at TV screens.
And there's been all sorts of different jobs that we've both been trying out that we wouldn't normally have been doing, like filling candles, cleaning candlesticks, polishing door handles. We've been looking after the centre while the blood transfusion service have been in, which has involved cleaning it afterwards. We've written and sent cards for Pentecost and St Albans Day, and we sent out those Holy Week packs with palm crosses.
You didn't get your palm cross. There are still about a dozen in the sacristy if you want one.
And all the time we've been in our school just across the road with key workers, children and some others that have been in all the way through the lockdown, and then now children are starting to come back. I think about half of the children are back in, so we've been doing class worship for them, and we're looking forward planning for the end of term for the Leavers service too.
And thank you to Edward Batting, our Director of Music, for contributing all those wonderful music notes each week. And I am beside myself with excitement at the prospect of hearing someone other than me play that mighty organ again on Sunday. And finally, thank you to you all for sticking with it and for responding stoically, generously and kindly during this time. We will see some of you in due course when the time is right, and to some of you, with great delight, we can at last say, see you on Sunday.